Hello all and welcome to today's Bible portion. Today's Sefer is going to be Shemot, Exodus 21 and 22. Chapter 21. Now these are the judgments which you shall set before them. If you obtain an hybrid servant 6 years, he shall serve, and in the 7th year he shall go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his woman shall go out with him. If his master gave him a woman, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the woman and her child shall be her master's. He shall go out by himself, and if the servant shall plainly say, I love all of Tavet my master, and all of Tavet my woman, and all of Tavet my children, I will not go out free. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, and unto the door post, and his master shall pierce all of Tavet his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. And if a man surrenders all Tavet his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out, as the maidservants do. If she please not her master, who hath betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed to surrender her unto a strange nation. He shall have no power, seeing as he dealt deceitfully with her, and if he hath betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of the daughter. If he take him another woman, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage, shall he not diminish. And if he do these three things unto her, then she shall go out free without money. He that smites a man so that he die, shall be put to death. And if a man lie not in wait, but Elohim deliver him into his hand, then I will appoint you a place whither he shall flee. But if a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor to slay him with guile, you shall take him from my altar, that he may die. And he that smites his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. And he that steals a man and sells him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. And he that curses his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. And if men strive together, and one smite all of another man with a stone or with his fist, and he not die, but keeps his bed, if he rise again and walk abroad upon his staff, then shall he that smote him be innocent, only he shall pay for the loss of his time, and shall cause him to be thoroughly healed. And if a man smite all of Tavet his servant, or all of Tavet his maid with a rod, and he die under his hand, he shall surely be punished. Notwithstanding, if he continue a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his money. If men strive and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall surely be punished. He shall be surely punished, according to the woman, as the woman man will lay upon him. As the woman's man will lay upon him. And he shall pay as the judges determine. And if any mischief follow, then you shall give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. And if a man smite all of Tavet, the eye of his servant, or all of Tavet, the eye of his maid, that it perish, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake. And if he smite out his manservant's tooth, or his maidservant's tooth, he shall let him go free for his tooth's sake. If an ox gored all of Tavet a man, or all of Tavet a woman, that they died, then the ox shall be surely stoned, and his flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be innocent. But if the ox were wont to push, then it is born with his horn in time past, and it has been testified to his owner, and he has not kept him in, but that he has killed a man or woman, then the ox shall be stoned, and his owner shall be put to death. If there be laid on him a sum of money, then he shall give for the ransom of his life whatsoever is laid upon him, whether he have gored a son, or have gored a daughter. According to this judgment shall it be done unto him. If the ox shall push a manservant or a maidservant, he shall give unto their master 30 shekels of silver, and unto the ox shall be stoned. In the ox shall be stoned. And if a man shall open a pit, or if a man shall dig a pit, and not cover it, and an ox or an ass fall therein, the owner of the pit shall make it good, and give money unto the owner of them, and the dead beast shall be his. And if all of that the ox of one man hurts Olive Tavet, the ox of another, that he die. Then they shall sell the live ox and divide Olive Tavet the money of it, and Olive Tavet the dead ox also they shall divide. Or if it be known that the ox has used to push in the time past, and its owner has not kept him in, he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead shall be his. Chapter 22. And if a man shall steal an ox, or a sheep, and kill it, or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox, and 4 sheep for a sheep. And if a thief be found breaking up, and be smitten, that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him. If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him, for he should make full restitution. If he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the theft be certain found in his hand alive, whether it be ox, or ass, or sheep, he shall restore double. If a man shall cause a field or vineyard Olive Tavet to be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field, of the best of his own fields, and of the best of his own vineyard, shall he make restitution. If fire break out, and catch, so that the stacks of grain, or the standing grain, or field be consumed therewith, he that kindled Olive Tavet the fire shall surely make restitution. If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to guard, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double. And if the thief be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought unto the judges to see whether he have put his hand unto his neighbor's goods, for all manner of transgression, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing, which another challenges to be his. The cause of both parties shall come before the judges, and whom the judge shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor. If a man deliver unto his neighbor an ass, or an ox, or a sheep, or any beast to guard, and it die, or be hurt, or driven away, no man seeing it, then shall an oath of Yahuwah be between them both, that he has not put his hand unto his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make it good. And if it be stolen from him, he shall make restitution unto the owner thereof. If it be torn in pieces, then let him bring it for witness, and he shall not make good that which was torn. And if a man borrow aught of his neighbor, and it be hurt or die, the owner thereof being not with it, he shall surely make it good. But if the owner thereof be with it, and he shall not make it good. If it be a hired thing, it came for his hire. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his woman. If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins. You shall not suffer a witch to live. Whoever lies with a beast shall surely be put to death. He that sacrifices unto any Elohim, save unto Yahuwah only, he shall be utterly destroyed. You shall neither vex a stranger nor oppress him, for ye were strangers in the land of the Mitzrayim. Ye shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If you afflict them in any wise, and they cry at all unto me, I will surely hear their cry, and my wrath shall wax hot. And I will kill you with the sword, and your woman shall be widowed, and your children fatherless. If you lend money to Olive Tavet, any of my people, Olive Tavet, that is poor by you, you shall not be to him as an usurer, neither shall you lay upon him usury. If you at all take your neighbor's raiment to pledge, you shall deliver it unto him by that the sun goes down. For that is his covering only, and it is his raiment for his skin, wherein shall he sleep. And it shall come to pass, when he cries unto me, that I will hear, for I am gracious. You will not revile the Elohim, nor curse the ruler of your people. You shall not delay to offer the first of your ripe fruits, and of your liquors. The firstborn of your sons shall you give unto me. Likewise you shall do with your oxen and with your sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dam. On the 8th day you shall give it to me. And ye shall be holy men unto me, neither shall ye eat any flesh that is torn of beasts in the field. Ye shall cast it to the dogs. Well, that is today's read, chapters 21 and 22. Until next time, I hope you all have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Sefer portion. Today we're going to be reading a Sefer, Shemot, Exodus 23 and 24. Chapter 23. You shall not raise a false report. Put not your hand with the wicked, to be an unrighteous witness. You shall not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shall you speak in a cause, to decline after many to wrest judgment. Neither shall you countenance a poor man in his case. If you meet your enemy's ox or his ass going astray, you shall surely bring it back to him again. If you see the ass of him that hates you lying under his burden, and you would forbear to help him, you shall surely help with him. You shall not wrest the judgment of your poor in this cause. Keep far from a false matter. And the innocent and righteous slay you not, for I will not justify the wicked. And you shall take no gift, for the gift blinds the wise, and perverts the words of the righteous. You shall not oppress a stranger, for ye know Alatavet the heart of a stranger, seeing ye were strangers in the land of the Mishraim. In 6 years you shall sow Alatavet your land, and shall gather it Alatavet the fruits thereof. But the 7th year you shall let it rest, and lie still, that the poor of your people may eat, and what they leave the beasts of the field shall eat. In like manner you shall do with your vineyard, and with your olive yard. 6 days you shall do work, and on the 7th day you shall rest, that your ox and your ass may rest, and the son of your handmaid and the stranger may be refreshed. And in all things that I have said unto you, be guarded, and make no mention of the name of other Elohim, neither let it be heard out of your mouth. 3 times you shall keep a feast unto me in the year. You shall guard Tavet, the feast of Masasa. You shall eat Masasa 7 days, as I commanded you, in the time appointed of the month of Aviv. For in it you came out from Mishraim, and none shall appear before me empty. And the feast of Shavuot, the first fruits of your labors which you have sown in the field, and the feast of Sukkot, which is at the end of the year, when you have gathered in Alatavet your labors out of the field. 3 times of the year all your males shall appear before Adonai Yahuwah. You shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with chametz. Neither shall the fat of my sacrifice remain until morning. The first of the first fruits of your land you shall bring into the house of Yahuwah Elohika. You shall not seethe a kid in his mother's milk. Behold, I send an angel before you, to guard you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. But if you shall indeed obey his voice, and do all that I speak, then I will be Alatavet, an enemy unto your enemies, and Alatavet, an adversary unto your adversaries. For my angel shall go before you, and bring you in unto the Amorim, and the Shittim, and the Perizim, and the Canaanim, and the Shivim, and the Yevukusim, and I will cut them off. You shall not bow down to their Elohim, nor serve them, nor do after their works. But you shall utterly overthrow them, and quite break down their images, and ye shall serve Alatavet Yahuwah Elohim. and he shall be blessed. And he shall bless all of Tavet your bread, and all of Tavet your water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of you. There shall nothing cast their young, nor be burdened in your land. All of Tavet, the number of your days will be, I will fulfill. I will send all of Tavet my fear before you, and will destroy all of Tavet, the people to whom ye shall come. And I will make all of Tavet your enemies turn their backs unto you, and I will send all of Tavet hornets before you, which shall drive out all of Tavet the Shivai, and all of Tavet the Canaani, and all of Tavet the Shittai, and from before you, and I will not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field multiply against you. By little and little I will drive them out from before you, until you be increased, and inherit all of Tavet the land. And I will set all of Tavet your bounds from the Red Sea, even unto the sea of the Philistine, and from the desert unto the river. For I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, all of Tavet, and you shall drive them out before you. You shall make no covenant with them, nor with their Elohim. They shall not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me. For if you serve all of Tavet their Elohim, it will surely be a snare unto you. Chapter 24. And he said unto Moshe, Come up unto El-Yahuwah, you and Aaron, and Nadav, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship ye afar off. And Moshe alone shall come near El-Yahuwah, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him. And Moshe came and told the people of Tavet the words of Yahuwah, and all of Tavet the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice, and said, All the words which Yahuwah has said we will do. And Moshe wrote all of Tavet all the words of Yahuwah, and rose up early in the morning, and built an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent all of Tavet young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto Yahuwah. And Moshe took half of the blood, and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the sefer of the covenant, and read in the audience of the people, and they said, All that Yahuwah has said we will do, and be obedient. And Moshe took all of Tavet the blood, and sprinkled it on the people, and said, Behold the blood of the covenant, which Yahuwah has made with you concerning all these words. Then went up Moshe and Aaron, and Nadav, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and they saw all of Tavet the Elohim of Israel, and there was under his feet as it were a paved work of sapphire stone, and as it were the body of heaven in his clearness. And upon the nobles of the children of Israel he laid not his hand. Also they saw of Tavet Elohim, and did eat and drink. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Come up to me in the mount, and be there, and I will give you all of Tavet sapphire stones, and all of Tavet sapphire stones, and a Torah and commandments, which I have written, that you may teach them. And Moshe rose up in his minister Yahusha, and Moshe went up into the mount of Elohim, and he said unto the others, Tarry ye here for us, until we come again unto you. And behold, Aaron and Troy are with you. If any men have any matters to do, let him come unto them. And Moshe went up into the mounts, and a cloud covered all of Tavet the mounts, and the glory of Yahuwah abode upon Mount Sinai. And the cloud covered in 6 days, and the 7th day he called unto Moshe out of the midst of the cloud. And the sight of the glory of Yahuwah was like devouring fire on the top of the mounts in the eyes of the children of Israel. And Moshe went into the midst of the cloud, and got him up into the mount. And Moshe was in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. Well, that is today's read. Until next time, I hope everybody has a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Sefer portion. Today we're going to be reading Shemot, Exodus 25 and 26. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bring me an offering. Of every man that gives it willingly, with his heart ye shall take all of it my offering. And this is the offering which ye shall take of them: gold, and silver, and brass, and blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine linen, and goat hair, and goat's hair, and ram skins, dyed red, badger skins, and shittim wood, oil for the light, spices for anointing oil, and for sweet incense, onyx stones, and stones to be set in the ephod and in the breastplate. And let them make a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them, according to all that I show you. After all of Tavet, the pattern of the tabernacle, and all of Tavet, the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall ye make it. And they shall make an ark of shittim wood. 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the height thereof. And you shall overlay it with pure gold, within and without shall you overlay it, and shall make upon it a crown of gold round about. And you shall cast 4 rings of gold for it, and put them in the 4 corners thereof. And the rings shall be in the one side of it, and 2 rings shall be in one side of it, and 2 rings shall be in the other side of it. And you shall make staves of shittim wood, overlaid them with gold, and shall put all of Tavet the staves into the rings by the sides of the ark, that all of Tavet the ark may be borne with them. The staves shall be in the rings of the ark, they shall not be taken from it. And you shall put into the ark all of Tavet the testimony which I shall give you. And you shall make a mercy seat of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth thereof. And you shall make 2 cherubim of gold, of beaten work shall you make them, and the 2 ends of the mercy seats, and make 1 cherub on the one end, and the other cherub on the other end. Even of the mercy seat shall ye make all of Tavet the cherubim on the 2 ends thereof, and the cherubim shall stretch forth their wings on high, covering the mercy seat with their wings, and their faces shall look one to another toward the mercy seat, shall the faces of the cherubim be. And you shall put all of Tavet the mercy seats above upon the ark. And in the ark you shall put all of Tavet the testimony that I shall give you. And there I will meet with you, and I will commune with you from above the mercy seat, from between the 2 cherubim which are upon the ark of the testimony. All the Tavet of all things which I give you in commandment unto the children of Israel. You shall also make a table of shittim wood. 2 cubits shall be the length thereof, and 1 cubit the breadth thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the height thereof. And you shall overlay it with pure gold, and make thereto a crown of gold around about. And you shall make unto it a border of a hand breadth round about. And you shall make a golden crown to the border thereof round about. And you shall make for it 4 rings of gold, and put all of Tavet the rings in the 4 corners that are on the 4 feet thereof. Over against the border shall the rings be for places of the staves to bear all of Tavet the table. And you shall make all of Tavet the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, that all of Tavet the table may be borne with them. And you shall make the dishes thereof, and spoons thereof, and covers thereof, and bowls thereof, and cover with all of pure gold shall you make them. And you shall set upon the table showbread before me always. And you shall make a menorah of pure gold, of beaten work shall the menorah be made. His shaft and his branches, his bowls, his knops, and his flowers shall be of the same. And 6 branches shall come out of the sides of it, 3 branches of the menorah out of one side, and 3 branches of the menorah out the other side. 3 bowls made like unto almonds, with a knop and a flower in one branch, and 3 bowls made like almonds in the other branch, with a knop and a flower, so in the 6 branches that come out of the menorah. And in the menorah shall be 4 bowls made like unto almonds, with their knops and their flowers, and there shall be a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches that proceed out of the menorah. Their knops and their branches shall be of the same, and it all shall be one beaten work of pure gold. And you shall make of it the 7 lamps thereof, and they shall light of it the lamps thereof, that they may give light over against it. And the tongs thereof and the snuff dishes thereof shall be of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold shall he make it, all of Tavet, with all these vessels. And look that you make them after their pattern, which was showed you in the mount. Chapter 26. Moreover, you shall make all of Tavet the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twined linen, purple and blue and scarlet, with proving of cunning work shall you make them. The length of one curtain shall be 28 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits. And every one of the curtains shall have one measure. The 5 curtains shall be coupled together one to another. The 5 curtains shall be coupled one to another. And you shall make loops of blue upon the edge of the one curtain from the selvage and to the coupling. Likewise you shall make into the uttermost edge of another curtain, and the coupling of the second. 50 loops shall you make in the one curtain, and 50 loops shall you make in the edge of the curtain that is in the coupling of the second, that the loops may take hold of one another. And you shall make 50 tashes of gold, and couple of Tavet the curtains together with the tashes. And it shall be one tabernacle, and you shall make curtains of goat's hair to be covering upon the tabernacle. 11 curtains shall you make. The length of one curtain shall be 30 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits. And 11 curtains shall be all of one measure, and you shall couple all of Tavet 5 curtains by themselves, and all of Tavet 6 curtains by themselves, and shall double all of Tavet the 6th curtain in the forefront of the tabernacle. And you shall make 50 loops on the edge of the one curtain that is outmost in the coupling, and 50 loops in the edge of the curtain which couples the second. And you shall make all of Tavet 50 tashes of brass, and put the tashes into the loops, and couple all of Tavet the tents together, that it may be one. And the remnant that remains of the curtain of the tent, the half curtain that remains, shall hang over the back side of the tabernacle, and a cubit on one side and a cubit on the other side of that which remains in the length of the curtain of the tent. It shall hang over the sides of the tabernacle on this side and on that side, to cover it. And you shall make a covering for the tent of ram skins dyed red, and a covering above of badger skins. And you shall make all of Tavet a board for the tabernacle of shittim wood, sitting up. 10 cubits shall be the length of a board, and a cubit and a half shall be the breadth of one board. 2 tenons shall there be in one board, set in order one against another. Thus shall you make for all the boards of the tabernacle. And you shall make all of Tavet the boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards on the south side, southward. And you shall make 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under one board for his 2 tenons, and 2 sockets under another board for his 2 tenons. And for the second side of the tabernacle on the north side, there shall be 20 boards, and there 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And for the sides of the tabernacle westward, you shall make 6 boards, and 2 boards shall you make for the corners of the tabernacle, and the 2 sides, and they shall be coupled together beneath, and they shall be coupled together above. The head of it unto one ring, thus shall it be for them both. They shall be for the corners, and they shall be 8 boards, and their sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And you shall make bars of shittim wood, 5 for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle, 5 bars for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, 5 bars for the boards of the side of the tabernacle for the 2 sides westward. And the middle bar in the midst of the boards shall reach from end to end, and you shall overlay all of it the boards with gold, and make all of it the rings of gold for places for the bars, and you shall overlay all of it the bars with gold, and you shall rear up all of it the tabernacle according to the fashion thereof, which was showed you in the mount. And you shall make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet, and fine twined linen of cunning works, and the cherubim shall it be made. And you shall hang it upon 4 pillars of shittim wood, overlaid with gold. Their hooks shall be of gold, upon the 4 sockets of silver. And you shall hang up all of it the veil under the chassis, that you may bring in thither within the veil all of the ark of the testimony. And the veil shall divide unto you between the holy place and the most holy. And you shall put all of the mercy seat upon the ark of the testimony in the most holy place. And you shall set all of the table without the veil, and all of the menorah over against the table, on the side of the tabernacle towards the south. And you shall put the table on the north side. And you shall make a hanging for the door of the tent of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen wrought with needlework. And you shall make for the hanging 5 pillars of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, and their hooks shall be of gold, and you shall cast 5 sockets of brass for them. Well, that's today's read. Until next time, I hope you all have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Sefer portion. Today we're going to be reading Shemot, Exodus 27 and 28. Chapter 27. And you shall make all of Tavet an altar of shittim wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits broad. The altar shall be 4 square, and the height thereof shall be 3 cubits. And you shall make the horns of it upon the 4 corners thereof. His horns shall be of the same, and you shall overlay it with brass. And you shall make his pans to receive his ashes, and his shovels, and his basins, and his flesh hooks, and his fire pans, and all the vessels thereof you shall make of brass. And you shall make for it a grate of network of brass, and upon the net shall you make 4 brazen rings, the 4 corners thereof. And you shall put it under the compass of the altar beneath, that the net may be even to the midst of the altar. And you shall make staves for the altar, staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with brass. And the staves shall be put all of it into the rings, and the staves shall be upon the 2 sides of the altar to bear it. Hollow with boards shall you make it, as it was showed you in the mount, so shall they make it. And you shall make all of it the court of the tabernacles of the south side southward. There shall be hangings for the court of fine twined linen of 100 cubits long for one side, and 20 pillars thereof, and their 20 sockets shall be of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets shall be of silver. And likewise for the north side in length there shall be hangings of 100 cubits long, and his 20 pillars, and their 20 sockets of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the breadth of the court in the west side shall be hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10. And the breadth of the court on the east side eastward shall be 50 cubits, and the hangings of one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And on the other side shall be hangings of 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And for the gate of the court shall be a hanging of 20 cubits, of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen, wrought with needlework. And their pillars shall be 4, and their sockets 4, and the pillars round about the court shall be fillet with silver. Their hooks shall be of silver, and their sockets of brass. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the breadth 50. Everywhere the height 5 cubits of fine twined linen, and their sockets of brass. All the vessels of the tabernacle, and all the service thereof, and all the pins thereof, and all the pins of the court shall be of brass. And you shall command all of Tavet, the children of Israel, that they bring you pure oil, olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamp to burn always, in the tabernacle of the assembly without veil, which is before the testimony. Aaron and his sons shall order it from evening to morning before Yahuwah. It shall be a statute forever, unto the generations, on behalf of the children of Israel. Chapter 28. And take unto you all of Tavet, Aaron your brother, and all of Tavet his sons with him, from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office, even Aaron, Nadav, Avihu, Eleazar, Elithamar, Aaron's sons. And you shall make holy garments for Aaron your brother, for glory and for beauty, and you shall speak unto all that are wise-hearted, whom I have filled with ruach of wisdom, that they may make all of Tavet Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, and an ephod, and a robe, and a broidered coat, a turban, and a girdle, that they shall make holy garments for Aaron your brother, and his sons, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And they shall take all of Tavet the gold, and all of Tavet blue, and all of Tavet purple, and all of Tavet scarlet, and all of Tavet fine linen. And they shall make all of Tavet the ephod of gold, of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and fine twined linen, with cunning work. It shall have 2 shoulder pieces thereof, joined at the 2 edges thereof, and so it shall be joined together. And the curious girdle of the ephod, which is upon it, shall be of the same, according to the work thereof, even of gold, of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. And you shall take all of Tavet 2 onyx stones, and grave on them the names of the children of Israel, 6 of their names on one stone, and all of Tavet the other 6 names on the rest on the other stone, according to their birth, with the work of an engraver in stone, like the engravers of a signet. Shall you, all of Tavet, engrave the 2 stones with the names of the children of Israel. You shall make them to be set in ouches of gold. And you shall put all of Tavet the 2 stones upon the shoulders of the ephod for stones of memorial unto the children of Israel. And Aaron shall bear all of Tavet their names before Yahuwah upon his 2 shoulders for memorial. And you shall make ouches of gold, and 2 chains of pure gold at the ends. Of wreathen work shall you make them, and fasten all of Tavet the wreathen chains to the ouches. And you shall make the breastplate of judgment with cunning work, and after the work of the ephod you shall make it of gold, of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of fine twined linen. You shall make it 4 it shall be, being double. A span shall be the length thereof, and a span shall be the breadth thereof. And you shall set in it settings of stones, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be of sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This shall be the first row. And the second row shall be emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row, a ligure, an agate, and an amethyst. And the 4th row, a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold in their enclosings. And the stones shall be with the names of the children of Israel, 12, according to their names, like the engravings of a signet. Every one with his name shall they be according to the 12 tribes. And you shall make upon the breastplate chains at the ends of the wreathen work of pure gold. And you shall make upon the breastplate 2 rings of gold, and shall put all of Tavet the rings on the two ends of the breastplate, and you shall put all of Tavet, the two wreath and chains of gold, and the two rings which are on the ends of the breastplates, and all of Tavet. The other two ends of the two wreath and chains you shall fasten in the two ouches, and put them on the shoulder piece of the ephod before it. And you shall make two rings of gold, and you shall put them upon the two ends of the breastplate, in the border thereof, which is in the side of the ephod inward. The two other rings of gold you shall make, and shall put them on the two sides of the ephod underneath, toward the forepart thereof, over against the other coupling thereof, above the curious girdle of the ephod. And they shall bind all of Tavet, the breastplate, by the rings thereof, and into the rings of the ephod with the lace of blue, that it may be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplates be not loose from the ephod. And Aaron shall bear all of Tavet, the names of the children of Israel, in the breastplate of judgment upon his heart, when he goes into the holy place for a memorial before Yahuwah continually. And you shall put the breastplate of judgment, all of Tavet, the Urim, and all of Tavet, the Tumim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart when he goes in before Yahuwah. And Aaron shall bear all of Tavet, the judgment of the children of Israel, upon his heart before Yahuwah continually. And you shall make all of Tavet, the robe of the ephod, of all blue, and there shall be a hole in the top of it, in the midst thereof it shall have a binding of woven work round about the whole of it, as it were the whole of a habergon, that it may not be rent. That it be not rent. And beneath, upon the hem of it, you shall make pomegranates of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, round about the hem thereof, and bells of gold between them round about. A golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe around about. And it shall be upon Aaron and his minister, and his sound shall be heard when he goes in unto the holy place before Yahuwah, when he comes out, that he not die. And you shall make a plate of pure gold, engrave upon it like the engravings of the signet, holiness to Yahuwah. And you shall put it on a blue lace, that it may be upon the turban. Upon the forefront of the turban it shall be. And it shall be upon Aaron's forehead, that Aaron may bear all the iniquity of the holy things, which the children of Israel shall hallow, and all their holy gifts. And it shall be always upon his forehead, that they may be accepted before Yahuwah. And you shall embroider the coat of fine linen, and you shall make the turban of fine linen, and you shall make the girdle of needlework. And for Aaron's sons you shall make coats, and you shall make for them girdles and bonnets. You shall make for them for glory and for beauty. And you shall put them upon all of Tavet, Aaron your brother, and all of Tavet his sons with him, and shall anoint them, and consecrate all of Tavet them, and sanctify them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. And you shall make them linen breeches to cover their nakedness, from the loins even unto the thighs that they reach. And they shall be upon Aaron and upon his sons, when they come in unto the tabernacle of assembly, and when they come near unto the altar to minister in the holy place, that they bear not iniquity and die. It shall be a statute forever unto him and his seed after him. Well, that is tonight's read. Until next time, I hope you all have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Sefer portion. Today we're going to be reading Shemot, Exodus 29 and 30. Chapter 29, and this is a thing that you shall do unto them, to hallow them, to minister unto me in the priest's office, to take 1 bullock and 2 rams without blemish, and mustasa cakes tempered with oil, and mustasa wafers anointed with oil. Of wheaten flour you shall make them, and you shall put them into 1 basket, and bring them in the basket with all of Tavet, the bullock, and all of it, the 2 rams, and all of it, Aaron, and all of it, his sons, shall bring unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, and shall wash them with water. And you shall take all of it, the garments, and put upon all of it Aaron the coat, and all of it the robe of the ephod, and all of it the ephod, and all of it breastplate, and gird him with the curious girdle of the ephod. The next video that I upload after this one is going to explain the reason why it says all of it. Okay. And you shall put the turban up on his head, and put all of it, the holy crown, upon the turban. Then you shall take all of it, the anointing oil, and pour it upon his head, and anoint him. And you shall bring all of it, his sons, and put coats on them, and you shall gird them with girdles. Aaron and his sons, and put the bonnets on them, and the priest's office shall be theirs for a perpetual statute. And you shall consecrate Aaron and his sons. And you shall cause all of it, a bullock, to be brought before the tabernacle of the assembly, and Aaron his son shall put all of it, their hands, upon the head of the bullock. And you shall kill all of it, the bullock, before Yahuwah by the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And you shall take the blood of the bullock, and put it upon the horns of the altar with your finger, and pour all of it, all the blood, beside the bottom of the altar. And you shall take all of it, all the fat that covers all of it, the inwards, and all of it, the cold that is above the liver, and all of it, the 2 kidneys, and all of it, the fat that is upon them, and burn them upon the altar. But all of it, the flesh of the bullock, and all of it, his skin, and all of it, his dung, shall you burn with fire without the camp. It is a sin offering. You shall also take all of it, 1 ram, and Aaron and his son shall put all of it, their hands, upon the head of the ram, and you shall slay all of it, the ram, and you shall take all of it, his blood, and sprinkle it round about upon the altar. And you shall cut all of it, the ram, in pieces, and wash the inwards of him and his legs, and put them unto his pieces and unto his head. And you shall burn all of it, the whole ram, upon the altar. It is a burnt offering unto Yahuwah. It is a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. And you shall take all of it, the other ram, and Aaron and his son shall put all of it, their hands, upon the head of the ram. Then you shall kill all of it, the ram, and take of his blood, and put it upon the tip of the right ear of Aaron, and upon the tip of the right ear of his sons, and upon the thumb of their right hand, and upon the great toe of their right foot, and sprinkle all of it, the blood, upon the altar round about. And you shall take of the blood that is upon the altar, and of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it upon Aaron, and upon his garments, and upon his sons, and upon his garments of his sons with him. And he shall be hallowed, and his garments, and his sons' garments with him. And also you shall take of the ram the fat of the rump, and all of it, the fat that covers all of it, the inwards, and all of it, the caul above the liver, and all of it, the kidneys, and all of it, the fat that is upon them, and all of it, the right shoulder, for it is a ram consecration. And 1 loaf of bread, and 1 cake of oiled bread, and 1 wafer out of the basket of mastasa, that is before Yahuwah. And you shall put all in the hands of Aaron, and the hands of his sons, and you shall wave them for a wave offering before Yahuwah. And you shall receive them of their hands, and burn them upon the altar for a burnt offering, for a sweet savor before Yahuwah. It is an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. And you shall take all of it, the breast of the ram of Aaron's consecration, and wave it for a wave offering before Yahuwah. And it shall be your part. And you shall sanctify all of it, the breast of the wave offering, and all of it, the shoulder of the heave offering, which is waved, and which is heaved up, of the ram of the consecration, even of that which is for Aaron, and of that which is for his sons. And it shall be Aaron and his sons by a statute forever from the children of Israel, for it is a heave offering. And it shall be a heave offering from the children of Israel, of the sacrifice of their peace offerings, even their heave offerings unto Yahuwah. And the holy garments of Aaron shall be his sons after him, to be anointed therein, and to be consecrated all of it in them. And that son that is priest in his stead shall put them on 7 days. When he comes into the tabernacle of the assembly to minister unto the holy place, and you shall take olive of it, the ram of the consecration, and olive of it, the seed, his flesh, in the holy place. And Aaron and his sons shall eat olive of it, the flesh of the ram, and olive of it, the bread that is in the basket, by the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And they shall eat those things wherewith the atonement was made, to consecrate and to sanctify olive of it them. But a stranger shall not eat thereof, because they are holy. And if aught of the flesh of the consecration or of the bread remain unto the morning, then you shall burn olive of it, the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is holy. And thus shall you do unto Aaron and his sons, according to all things that I have commanded you. 7 days shall you consecrate them. And you shall offer every day a bullock for a sin offering for atonement. And you shall cleanse the altar when you have made an atonement for it. And you shall anoint it to sanctify it. 7 days you shall make an atonement for the altar and sanctify it. And it shall be an altar most holy. Whosoever touches the altar shall be holy. Now this is that which you shall offer upon the altar: 2 lambs of the first year, day by day continually. Olive of it, the one lamb, you shall offer in the morning, and olive of it, the other lamb, you shall offer at evening. And with the one lamb, a 10th deal of flour mingled with the 4th part of a hin of beaten oil, and the 4th part of a hin of wine for a drink offering. And olive of it, the other lamb, you shall offer at evening, and shall do thereto according to the meat offering of the morning, and according to the drink offering thereof, for a sweet savour, an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. This shall be a continual burnt offering throughout your generations, at the door of the tabernacle of the assembly before Yahuwah, where I will meet you, to speak there unto you. And there I will meet with the children of Israel, and the tabernacle shall be sanctified in my glory. And I will sanctify olive of it, the tabernacle of the assembly, and olive of it, the altar. And I will sanctify also both olive of it, Aaron, and olive of it, his sons, to minister to me in the priest's office. And I will dwell among the children of Israel, and will be their Elohim. And they shall know that I am Yahuwah Elohim, that brought them forth out of the land of Mitzrayim, that I may dwell among them. I am Yahuwah Elohim. Chapter 30. And you shall make an altar to burn incense upon shittim wood. You shall make it. A cubit shall be the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof. 4 square shall it be, and 2 cubits shall be the height thereof. The horns therefore shall be of the same, and you shall overlay it with pure gold. Olive of it the top thereof, and olive of it the sides thereof round about, and olive of it the horns thereof. And you shall make unto it a crown of gold round about. And 2 golden rings shall you make it under the crown of it. By the 2 corners thereof, upon the 2 sides of it shall you make it. And they shall be for places for the staves to bear it withal. And you shall make olive of it the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold. And you shall put it there. And you shall put it before the veil that is by the ark of the testimony, before the mercy seat that is over the testimony, where I will meet with you. And Aaron shall burn thereon sweet incense every morning. When he dresses olive of it the lamps, he shall burn incense upon it. And when Aaron lights olive of it the lamps at evening, he shall burn incense upon it, a perpetual incense before Yahuwah. Throughout your generations ye shall offer no strange incense thereon, nor burnt sacrifices, nor meat offerings, neither shall ye pour drink offering thereon. And Aaron shall make an atonement upon the horns of it once in a year, with the blood of the sin offering of atonement. Once in a year shall he make atonement upon it throughout your generations. It is most holy unto Yahuwah. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, When you take olive of it the sum of the children of Israel after their number, then shall they give every man a ransom for his soul unto Yahuwah. When you number them, that there be no plague among them, when you number them, this they shall give. Every one that passes among them that are numbered, half a shekel, after the shekel of the sanctuary. A shekel is 20 gerah. A half shekel shall be the offering of Yahuwah. Everyone that passes among them that are numbered from 20 years old and above shall give an offering unto Yahuwah. The rich shall not give more, and the poor shall not give less than half a shekel, when they give all the tavet an offering unto Yahuwah, to make atonement for your souls. And you shall take all the tavet, the atonement money of the children of Israel, and shall appoint it for the service of the tabernacle of the assembly, that it may be a memorial unto the children of Israel before Yahuwah, to make an atonement for your souls. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, You shall also make a laver of brass, and his foot also of brass, to wash withal, and you shall put it between the tabernacle of the assembly and the altar, and you shall put water therein. For Aaron and his sons shall wash all of it their hands and all of it their feet thereat. When they go into the tabernacle of the assembly, they shall wash with water, that they not die. Or when they come near to the altar to minister, to burn offering made by fire unto Yahuwah, so they shall wash their hands and their feet, that they die not. And it shall be a statute forever to them, even to him, and to his seed throughout their generations. Moreover, Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Take also unto you principal spices of pure myrrh, 500 shekels, and of sweet cinnamon half so much, even 250 shekels, and of sweet calamus 250 shekels, and of cassia 500 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, and of oil olive a hin. And you shall make it an oil of holy ointment, an ointment compound after the art of the apothecary. It shall be a holy anointing oil, and you shall anoint all of it, the tabernacle of the assembly therewith, and all of it, the ark of the testimony, and all of it, the table, and all of it, all his vessels, and all of it, the menorah, and all of it, his vessels, and all of it, the altar of incense, and all of it, the altar of burnt offering, with all of it, his vessels, and all of it, the laver, and all of it, his foot. And you shall sanctify them, that they may be most holy. Whatsoever touches them shall be holy. And you shall anoint all of it, Aaron and his sons, and consecrate them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. And you shall speak unto the children of Israel, saying, This shall be a holy anointing oil unto me throughout your generations. Upon man's flesh shall it not be poured, neither shall ye make any other like it. After the composition of it, it is holy, and it shall be holy unto you. Whosoever compounds any like it, or whosoever puts any of it upon a stranger, shall even be cut off from his people. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Take unto you sweet spices, stacte, anika, anicha, and galbanum, these sweet spices with pure frankincense, of each shall there be a like weight. And you shall make it a perfume, a confection after the art of the apothecary, tempered together, pure and holy. And you shall beat some of it very small, and put of it before the testimony in the tabernacle of the assembly, where I will meet with you. It shall be unto you most holy. And as for the perfume which you shall make, ye shall not make to yourselves according to the composition thereof. It shall be unto you holy for Yahuwah. Whosoever shall make like unto that, to smell thereto, shall even be cut off from his people. Well, that is tonight's Sefer portion. Like I said, I'm going to be uploading, reading the descriptions of why they didn't do Aleph Tav Et, or the translation of it. Well, until next thing, I hope you all have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's Sefer portion. Today we're going to be reading Shemot, Exodus 31 and 32. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, See, I have called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Shurai, of the tribe of Yehudah, and I have filled him with the Ruach Elohim, in wisdom, and in understanding, and in knowledge, and all manner of workmanship, to devise cunning works, to work in gold, and in silver, and in brass, and in cutting stones to set them. And in cutting of stones to set them, and in carving of timber, to work in all manner of workmanship. And I, behold, I have given with him Aholiab, the son of Ahimelech, Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, and in the hearts of all that are wise-hearted I have put wisdom, and that they may make all that I have commanded you. The tabernacle of assembly, and the ark of testimony, and the mercy seats that is thereupon, and all the furniture of the tabernacle, and the table, and its furniture, and the pure menorah with all its furniture, and all the altar of incense, and the altar of burnt offerings with all of his furniture, and the laver, and all the foot, and the clothes of service, and the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments of his sons to minister in the priest's office, and the anointing oil, and sweet incense for the holy place, according to all that I have commanded you shall they do. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily, my Shabbat. This says Shabbatot. Ye shall guard, for it is a sign between me and you throughout all your generations, that ye may know that I am Yahuwah Mekodishkim. Ye shall guard all the Shabbat. Therefore, for it is holy unto you, everyone that defiles it shall surely be put to death. For whosoever does any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Shabbat of rest, holy to Yahuwah. Whoever does any work in the Shabbat, he shall surely be put to death. Wherefore the children of Israel shall guard all the Shabbat, to observe all the Shabbat throughout their generations, for a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days Yahuwah made all the heavens and all the earth. And on the seventh day he rested, and was refreshed. And he gave unto Moshe, when he had made an end of communing with him upon Mount Sinai, 2 sapphires of testimony, sapphire stones written with the finger of Elohim. Chapter 32. And when the people saw that Moshe delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron, and said unto him, Make us Elohim, which shall go before us. For as for this Moshe, the man that brought us up out of the land of the Mishraim, we know not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your women, of your ears of the women of your sons and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people broke off all the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool. After he made it a molten calf, and they said, These be your Elohim, O Israel, which brought you up out of the land of the Mishraim. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to Yahuwah. And they rose up early in the morning and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Go, get you down, for your people, which you brought out of the land of Mizraim, have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I have commanded them. They have made them a molten calf, and worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be your Elohim, O Yisrael, which have brought you up out of the land of Mizraim. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, I have seen all Tavet this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them. And I will make of you a great nation. And Moshe, all Tavet besought Yahuwah Eloheu, and said, Yahuwah, why does your wrath wax hot against your people, which you have brought forth out of the land of the Mizraim, with great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Mizraim speak and say, For mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from your fierce wrath, and repent of this evil against your people. Remember Abraham, Yishak, in Yisrael, your servants, to whom you swore by your own self, and said unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven. And all this land that I have spoken of, I will give all of Tavet unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. And Yahuwah repented of evil which he thought to do unto his people. And Moshe turned and went down from the mount, and the 2 sapphires of the testimony were in his hands. The sapphires were written on both sides. On the one side and on the other were they written. And the sapphires were the work of Elohim. And the writing was the writing of Elohim, graven upon the sapphires. And when Yahushua heard all of Tavet the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Moshe, There is a sound of war in the camp. And he said, It is not the voice of them that shout for mastery, neither is it the voice of them that cry for being overcome, but the noise of them that sing do I hear. And it came to pass, as soon as he came nigh unto the camp, that he saw all of Tavet the calf in the dancing. And Moshe anger waxed hot, and he cast all of Tavet the sapphires out of his hands, and broke them beneath the mount. And he took all of Tavet the calf which they had made, and burnt it in the fire, and ground it to powder, and strawed it upon the water, and made all of Tavet the children of Israel drink of it. And Moshe said unto Aaron, What did this people unto you, that you have brought so great a sin upon them? And Aaron said, Let not the anger of my Lord wax hot. You know all of Tavet the people, that they are set on mischief. For they said unto me, Make us Elohim, which shall go before us. For as for this Moshe, the man that brought us up out of the land of the Mizraim, we know not what has become of him. And I said unto them, Whosoever has any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it to me. Then I cast it into the fire, and there came out this calf. And when Moshe saw Tavet that the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies, and Moshe stood at the gate of the camp and said, Who is on Yahuwah's side? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him. And he said unto them, Thus says Yahuwah Elohim of Yisrael, Put every man his sword by his sides, and go in and go out from the gate throughout the camp, and slay every man all of Tavet his brother, and every man all of Tavet his companion, and every man all of Tavet his neighbor, and the children of Levi did according to the word of Moshe. And there fell of the people that day about 3,000 men, for Moshe had said, Consecrate yourselves today to Yahuwah, every man, even every man upon his son and upon his brother, that he may bestow upon you a blessing this day. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moshe said unto the people, Ye have sinned a great sin, and now I will go up unto Yahuwah. Peradventure, I shall make an atonement for your sin. And Moshe returned unto Yahuwah and said, O, this people have sinned a great sin, and have made them Elohim of gold. Yet now, if you will forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray you, out of your sefer which you have written. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Whosoever has sinned against me, him will I blot out of my sefer. Therefore now go, lead all of the people into the place of which I have spoken unto you. Behold, my angels shall go before you. Nevertheless, in the day when I will visit their sin upon them. And Yahuwah plagued all of the people, because they made all of the calf which Aaron made. Well, that was tonight's Sefer portion. Until next time, I hope you all have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Sefer portion. Today we're going to be reading Shemot, Exodus 33 and 34. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Depart and go up hence, you and the people which you have brought up out of the land of Mishraim unto the land which I swore unto Abraham, and to Yitzchak, and to Yaakov, saying, Unto your seed will I give it. And I will send an angel before you, and I will drive out all of Taveth, the Canaanite, and the Amorite, and the Shittite, and the Perizzite, and the Shivite, and the Yebusai, unto a land flowing with milk and honey. For I will not go up in the midst of you, for you are stiff-necked people, lest I consume you in the way. When the people heard all of Tavet, the evil report. So in this instance, all of Tavet means, have you heard from the first to the last of the evil reports? They mourned, and no man did put on him his ornaments. For Yahuwah had said unto Moshe, Say unto the children of Israel, You are a stiff-necked people, I will come up into the midst of you in a moment, and consume you. Therefore now put off your ornaments from you, that I may know what to do unto you. And the children of Israel stripped themselves, all of Tavet, from the first to the last of their ornaments, by the Mount Horeb. And Moshe took the first and last of the So in this instance, it's taking, and Moshe took all the tabernacle and pitched it without the camp, afar off from the camp. So from the first to the last of the tabernacle, and called it the tabernacle of the assembly. And it came to pass that everyone which sought Yahuwah went out unto the tabernacle of the assembly, which was without the camp. And it came to pass when Moshe went out unto the tabernacle, that all the people rose up, and stood every man at his tent door, and looked after Moshe until they had gone into the tabernacle. And it came to pass, as Moshe entered the tabernacle, the cloudy pillar descended, and stood at the door of the tabernacle. And Yeshua talked with Moshe, and the people saw all of Tavet, the cloudy pillar, stand at the tabernacle door. Well, this is my question to you. What do you think that all of Tavet is? And all the people rose up and worshipped, every man in his tent. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe face to face, as a man speaks unto his friend. And he turned again unto the camp, and his servant Yahusha, the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle. And Moshe said unto Yahuwah, See, you say unto me, Bring up the Aleph Tavet, this people, so from the first to the last of this people. And you have not let me know whom, so you have not let me know, Aleph Tavet, who you will send with me. So he has not named them. Yet you have said, I know you by name, and you have also found grace in my sight. Now therefore I pray you, if I have found grace in your sight, show me now, Aleph Tavet, your way, so all of your way, that I may find grace in your sight, and consider that this nation is your people. And he said, my presence shall go with you, and I will give you rest. And he said unto him, if your presence go not with me, carry us not up hence. For that wherein shall it be known here that I and your people have found grace in your sight? Is it not in that you go with us? So shall we be separated, I and your people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, I will do all of this thing, this thing also that you have spoken, for you have found grace in my sight, and I know you by name. And he said, I beseech you, show me all your glory. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before you, and I will proclaim the name Yahuwah before you, and I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious. And I will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. So he knows from the first to last who he's going to be gracious with and whom he's not. I will show mercy. And he said, you cannot see my face. So you can't see none of his face. For there shall no man see me and live. And Yahuwah said, behold, there is a place by me, and you shall stand upon a rock. And it shall come to pass, while my glory passes by, that I will put you in a cleft of the rock, and I will cover you with my hand while I pass, and I will take away my hand, and you shall see my back parts. But my face shall not be seen. Chapter 34. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, hew you 2 sapphire stones like unto the first, and I will write upon these sapphires the words. So from the first to the last, he will write upon the sapphires, which you broke. And be ready in the morning, and come up in the morning unto Mount Sinai, and present yourself there to me in the top of the mount, and no man shall come up with you. Neither let any man be seen throughout all the mount, neither let the flocks nor herds feed before that mount. And he hewed 2 sapphire stones like unto the first. And Moshe rose up early in the morning, and went up unto Mount Sinai as Yahuwah had commanded him, and took in his hand the 2 sapphire stones. And Yahuwah descended in a cloud, and stood with him there, and proclaimed the name of Yahuwah. And Yahuwah passed by before him, and proclaimed Yahuwah, Yahuwah El, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon their children, and upon their children's children, unto the 3rd and the 4th generation. And Moshe made haste, bowed his head toward the earth, and worshipped. And he said, if now I have found grace in your sight, O Adonai, let my Adonai, I pray you, go among us, for it is a stiff-necked people, and pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for your inheritance. And he said, behold, I make a covenant before all your people. I will do marvels such as not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation, and all the people among which you are shall see all of the work of Yahuwah, so from all the work of Yahuwah. For it is a terrible thing that I will do with you. Guard all of that which I command you. So do all that he commanded. Behold, I drive out before you all of Tavet, so all the Emorai, the Kenai, the Kenai, the Kenani, the Shittai, or the Hittite, the Perizzai, the Hivite, and the Jebusite. Take heed to yourself, lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land whither you go, lest it be for a snare in the midst of you. But ye shall destroy all of their altars. Ye shall destroy all their altars, and break all their images, so all of their images, and cut down all of their Asherah poles. Cut So he wants you to cut down all their Asherah. For you shall worship no other El, for Yahuwah, whose name is jealous, is a jealous El, lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go whoring after their Elohim, and do sacrifice unto their Elohim, and one call you, and you eat of his sacrifice, and take of their daughters unto your sons, and their daughters go a whoring after their Elohim. And make your sons go a whoring all Tavet after their Elohim. You shall make no molten Elohim. The Tavet feast of Mastasa shall you guard. 7 days you shall eat Mastasa, as I commanded you in the time of the month Aviv. For in the month of Aviv you came out from Mishraim. All that opens the womb is mine, and every firstling among your cattle, whether ox or sheep, that is male. But the firstling of an ass you shall redeem with the lamb, and if you redeem him not, then you shall break his neck. All the firstborn of your sons you shall redeem, and none shall appear before me empty. 6 days you shall work, but on the 7th day you shall rest. In earing time and in the harvest you shall rest. And you shall observe the feast of Shemot, of the first fruits of wheat, harvest, and the feast of Sukkot at the year's end. Thrice in the year shall all your men children appear all of Tavet before Adonai Yahuwah, the Elohim of Israel, for I will cast out the nations before you and enlarge all of Tavet your borders. Neither shall any man desire all of Tavet your land. When you shall go up to appear all of Tavet before Yahuwah Elohika, thrice in the year, you shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leaven, neither shall the sacrifice of the feast of Pekah be left until morning. The first of the first fruits of your land you shall bring unto the house of Yahuwah Elohika. You shall not see the kid in his mother's milk. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, write all of Tavet these words. For after the tenor of these words, I have made a covenant with you and all of Tavet with Yisrael. And he was there with Yahuwah 40 days and 40 nights. He didn't neither eat bread nor drink water, and he wrote upon the sapphires all of Tavet the words of the covenant, and the varying. And it came to pass when Moshe came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 separate sapphires of the testimony in Moshe's hand. When he came down from the mount, that Moshe knew not that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him. And when Aaron and the children of Israel saw all of Tavet Moshe, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come nigh him. And Moshe called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the assembly returned unto him, and Moshe talked with them. And afterward all the children of Israel came nigh, and he gave them in commandment all that Yahuwah had spoken unto him in Mount Sinai, until Moshe had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. And when Moshe went in before Yahuwah to speak unto him, he took all of Tavet the veil off until he came out. And he came out and spoke unto the children of Israel all which he was commanded. And the children of Israel saw all of Tavet the face of Moshe, that the skin of Moshe's face shone. And Moshe put all of Tavet the veil upon his face again, until he went in to speak with him. Well, that's it for today's read. Until next time, I hope you all have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Sefer portion. Today we're going to be reading Shemot, Exodus 35 and 36. Also, there's going to be some hiccups in and around through there, so yeah, let's get started. Chapter 35, and Moshe gathered all the assembly of the children of Israel together, and said unto them, These are the words which Yahuwah has commanded, and ye should do them. 6 days work shall be done. But on the 7th day there shall be to you a holy day, Shabbat, of the rest of Yahuwah. Of rest to Yahuwah. Whoever does work therein shall be put to death. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Shabbat. And Moshe spoke unto all the assembly of the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which Yahuwah commanded, saying, Take ye from among you an offering unto Yahuwah. Whoever is of a willing heart, let him bring it. Olive tavet, an offering of Yahuwah, gold, and silver, and brass, and blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine linen, and goat's hair, and ram skins dyed red, and badger skins, and shittim wood, and oil for the light, and spices for anointing oil, and for the sweet incense, and onyx stones, and stones to be set for the ephod, and for the breastplate, and every wise-hearted among you shall come and make all that Yahuwah has commanded, all the tabernacle, all his tents, all his coverings, all his taches, and all his boards, and all his bars, and all his pillars, and all his sockets, and all of the ark, and all the staves thereof, and all of the mercy seat, and all of the veil, and all of the covering, and all of the table, and all of his staves, and all of his vessels, and the showbread, all of the menorah also for the light, and all of his furniture, and all of his lamps, with all of the oil for the light, and all of the incense altar, and all of his staves, and all of the anointing oil, and all of the sweet incense, and all of the hangings for the door at the entering in of the tabernacle, all the altar of burnt offering with all of his brazen gate, and all of his staves, and all of his vessels, and all the laver, and all of his feet. All of the laver, and all his foot. All of the hangings of the court, his pillars, and their sockets, and the hangings for the door of the court, the pins of the tabernacle, and the pins of the court, and their cords, the cloths of the service to do service in the holy place, the holy garments for Aaron and the priests, and the garments of his sons to minister in the priest's office. Okay, so here, all of the olive tabets, if you look in the King James Version, are translated as all. So, if you heard me say all anywhere in there, it was olive tabet. Just so you know. And all the assembly of the children of Israel departed from the presence of Moshe. And they came, everyone whose heart stirred him up, and everyone whom his ruach made willing, and they brought Yahuwah's offering to the work of the tabernacle of the assembly, and all of his service, and for the holy garments. And they came, both men and women, as many as were willing-hearted, and brought bracelets, and earrings, and rings, and tablets of all jewels of gold. And every man offered an offering of that. Every man that offered an offering of gold unto Yahuwah, and every man with whom was found blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen and goat's hair and red skins of rams and badger skins brought them. Everyone that did offer an offering of silver and brass brought all olive tavet, or all of Yahuwah's offering. And every man with whom was found shittim wood for any work of the service brought it. And all the women that were wise-hearted did spin with their hands, and brought that which they had spun, both olive tavet of blue, and olive tavet of purple, and olive tavet of scarlet, and olive tavet of fine linen. So all of the blue, and all of the purple, and all of the scarlet, and all of the fine linen, and all the women whose hearts stirred them up in wisdom spun olive tavet goat's hair. And the rulers brought olive tavet, onyx stones, and stones to be set for the ephod, and for the breastplate, and olive tavet spice, and olive tavet oil for the light, and for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense. The children of Israel brought a willing offering unto Yahuwah, every man and woman whose hearts made them willing to bring for all manner of work, which Yahuwah had commanded to be made by the hand of Moshe. And Moshe said unto the children of Israel, see, Yahuwah has called by name Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Horai, of the tribe of Yehudah, and he has filled him with Ruach Elohim, and wisdom, and understanding, and in knowledge, and all manner of the workmanship. All manner of workmanship, and to devise curious works with gold, and to devise curious works, to work in gold, and in silver, and in brass, and in cutting of stones, and to set them in carving of wood, to make any manner of cunning work. And he has put in his heart that he may teach both he and Aholiab, the son of Ahikamak, of the tribe of Dan. Them has he filled with wisdom of heart, to work all manner of work, of the engraver, and of the cunning work, and of the embroiderer, in blue, and in purple, and in scarlet, and in fine linen, and of the weaver, even of them they do any work, and of those that devise cunning work. Chapter 36. Then wrought Bezalel of Aholiab, and every wise-hearted man, in whom Yahuwah put wisdom and understanding, to know how to work all of Tavet, all manner of work, for the service of the sanctuary, according to all that Yahuwah had commanded. And Moshe called Bezalel and Aholiab, and every wise-hearted man, in whose heart Yahuwah had put wisdom, even every one whose heart stirred him up to come unto the work to do it. And they received of Moshe all of Tavet, all the offering which the children of Israel had brought for the work of the service of the sanctuary, to make it withal. And they brought yet unto him free offerings every morning. And all the wise men that wrought all of Tavet, all the work of the sanctuary, came every man from his work which they made. And they spoke unto Moshe, saying, the people bring much more than enough for the service of the work, which Yahuwah commanded to make. And Moshe gave commandment, and they caused it to be proclaimed throughout the camp, saying, let neither man nor woman make any more work for the offering of the sanctuary. So the people were restrained from bringing, for the stuff they had was sufficient for all the work to make it, and too much. And every wise-hearted man among them that wrought the work, all of Tavet of the tabernacle, made 10 curtains of fine twined linen, and 10 in purple, in blue and purple and scarlet, with keruvim of cunning work made he them. The length of one curtain was 28 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain was 4 cubits. The curtains were all of one size. And he coupled all of Tavet, the curtains, one unto another, and the other 5 curtains he coupled one to another. And he made loops of blue on the edge of one curtain from the selvage of the coupling. Likewise he made in the uttermost side of another curtain, in the coupling of the second. 50 loops made he in one curtain, and 50 loops he in the other edge of the curtain, which was the coupling of the second. The loops held one curtain to another. And he made 50 taches of gold, and coupled all of Tavet, the curtains one unto another with the taches, so it became one tabernacle. And he made curtains of goat's hair for the tent over the tabernacle. 11 curtains he made them. The length of one curtain was 30 cubits, and 4 cubits was the breadth of one curtain. The 11 curtains were of one size, and he coupled all of Tavet, the 5 curtains by themselves, and all of Tavet 6 curtains by themselves. And he made 50 loops under the uttermost edge of the curtain in the coupling, and 50 loops he made upon the edge of the curtain which couples the second. And he made 50 hashes of brass to couple all of Tavet the tent together, that it might be one. And he made a covering for the tent of ram skins dyed red, and a covering of badger skins above that. And he made all of Tavet the boards. So he made all of the boards for the tabernacle of shittim wood, standing up. The length of a board was 10 cubits, and the breadth of a board was 1 cubit and a half. One board had 2 tenons, equally distant one from the other. Thus did he make for all of the boards of the tabernacle. And he made all of Tavet, all of the boards of the tabernacle, 20 boards for the south side, southward, and 40 sockets of silver he made under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under one board for his 2 tenons, and 2 sockets under another board for his 2 tenons. And for the other side of the tabernacle, which is toward the north corner, he made 20 boards, and there 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And for the sides of the tabernacle westward, he made 6 boards. And 2 boards made he for the corners of the tabernacle on the 2 sides. And they were coupled beneath, and coupled together at the head thereof, to one ring. Thus he did to both of them, and both the corners. And there were 8 boards, and their sockets were 16 sockets of silver, under every board 2 sockets. And he made bars of shittim wood, 5 for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the tabernacle for the sides westward. And he made all of Tavet the middle bar to shoot through the boards from one end to the other. And he overlaid all of the boards with gold, and made all of their rings of gold to be places for the bars, and overlaid all of the bars with gold. So everywhere we heard all of, it was all of Tavet. And he made all of Tavet a veil of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, with cherubim made he of it of cunning work. And he made thereunto 4 pillars of shittim wood, and overlaid them with gold. Their hooks were of gold. And he cast for them 4 sockets of silver. And he made a hanging for the tabernacle door of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen of needlework, and all of Tavet 5 pillars of it, with all of Tavet their hooks. And he overlaid their hapiters and their fillets with gold, but their 5 sockets were of brass. Well, sorry about all the pauses and the messed up words. Yeah, so all of Tavet was and, of, or all of in this. So if you heard me say any of that, then it was all of Tavet. Okay, until next time, I hope everybody has a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Sefer portion. Today we're going to be reading Shemot, Exodus 37 and 38. Chapter 37. In Bezalel made Olive the ark of shittim wood. 2 cubits and a half was the length of it, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth of it, and 1 cubit and a half the height of it. And he overlaid it with pure gold within and without. And he made a crown of gold to it round about, and he cast for it 4 rings of gold to be set by the 4 corners of it, even 2 rings upon the side of one, upon the one side of it, and 2 rings upon the other side of it. And he made staves of shittim wood, and overlaid them with gold, and he put all of Tavet the staves into the rings by the side. So he put all the staves into the rings by the side of the ark, to bear all of Tav the ark. And he made the mercy seat of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half was the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth thereof. And he made 2 cherubim. 2 cherubim of gold, beaten out of one piece, made he them. On the 2 ends of the mercy seats, 1 cherub on one end of the side, and another cherub on the other end on that side. Out of the mercy seats made he all of Tavet the cherubim on the 2 ends thereof, and the cherubim spread out their wings on high, and covered with their wings of the mercy seats, with their faces one to another, even to the mercy seat ward, where the faces of the cherubim. And he made all of Tavet the table of shittim wood. 2 cubits was the length thereof, and a cubit and a cubit the breadth thereof, and a cubit and a half the height thereof. And he overlaid it with pure gold, and made thereunto a crown of gold round about. And he made thereunto a border of a handbreadth round about, and made a crown of gold for a border thereof round about. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold, and put all of Tavet the rings upon the 4 corners that were in the 4 feet thereof. And over against the border were the rings, the places for the staves to bear all of Tavet the table. And he made all of Tavet the staves of shittim wood, and overlaid them with gold, to bear all of Tavet the table. And he made all of Tavet the vessels which were upon the table, all of Tavet his dishes, and all of Tavet his spoons, and all of Tavet his bowls, and all of Tavet his covers, to cover withal of pure gold. And he made all of Tavet the menorah out of pure gold of beaten work, made he all of Tavet the menorah, his shaft and his branch, his bowls, his knops, and his flowers were of the same. And 6 branches were going out of the sides thereof, 3 branches of the menorah out of one side thereof, and 3 branches of the menorah out of the other side thereof. 3 bowls made after fashion of almonds, and 1 branch, a knop, and a flower, and 3 bowls made like almonds, and another branch, a knop, and a flower, set throughout the 6 branches going out of the menorah. And in the menorah were 4 bowls made like almonds, his knops, and his flowers, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches going out of it. Their knops and their branches were of the same. All of it was one beaten work of pure gold. And he made all of Tavet his 7 lamps, and his snuffers, and his snuff dishes of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold made he it, and all of Tav, all the vessels thereof. And he made all of Tavet the incense altar of shittim wood. The length of it was a cubit, and the breadth of it a cubit. It was 4 square, and 2 cubits was the height of it. The horns thereof were of the same, and he overlaid it with pure gold, both all of Tavet the top of it, and all of Tavet the sides there round about, and all of Tavet the horns of it. So in this sense, all of Tavet is all. And he made unto it a crown of gold round about, and he made 2 rings of gold for it under the crown thereof, by the 2 corners of it upon the 2 sides thereof, to the places of staves to bear it withal. And he made all of Tavet the staves of shittim wood, and overlaid them with gold. And he made all of Tavet the holy anointing oil, and all of Tavet the pure incense of sweet spices, according to the work of the apothecary. Chapter 38. And he made all of Tavet the altar of burnt offering of shittim wood. 5 cubits was the length thereof, and 5 cubits the breadth thereof. It was 4 square, and 3 cubits was the height thereof. And he made the horns thereof on the 4 corners of it. The horns thereof were of the same, and he overlaid it with brass. And he made all of Tavet all the vessels of the altar, and all of Tavet the pots, and all of Tavet the shovels, and all of Tavet the basins, and all of Tavet the flesh hooks, and all of Tavet the fire pans. All the vessels thereof he made of brass. And he made for the altar a brazen grate of network under the compass thereof. beneath the midst of it. And he cast 4 rings for the 4 ends of the grates of brass, to be places for the staves. And he made all of Tavet the staves of shittim wood, and overlaid them with brass. And he put all of Tavet the staves into the rings on the sides of the altar to bear it withal. He made the altar hollow with boards. And he made all of Tavet the laver of brass, and all of Tavet the foot of it of brass, of the looking glasses of the woman assembling, which assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And he made all of Tavet the court on the south side, southward the hangings of the court of fine twined linen, 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their brazen sockets 20. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. And for the north side the hangings were 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their sockets of brass were 20, and the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the west side were hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the east side, eastward 50 cubits, the hangings of the one side of the gate were 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And for the other side of the court gate, on this hand and that hand, were hangings of 15 cubits. Their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. All their hangings of the court round about were of fine twined linen, and the sockets for the pillars were of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver, and the overlaying of their hapiters of silver, and the pillars of the court were filleted with silver. And the hangings for the gate of the court was needlework of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen. 20 cubits was the length, the height, and the breadth was 5 cubits, answerable to the hangings of the courts. And the pillars were 4, and their sockets of brass 4. Their hooks of silver, and overlaying of their hapiters, and their fillets of silver, and all the pins of the tabernacle and the court round about were of brass. This is the sum of the tabernacle, even of the tabernacle of testimony, as it was counted according to the commandments of Moshe. For the service of the Levites, by the hand of Lithamar, son of Heron the priest, and Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hori, of the tribe of Yehudah, made all that Yehudah commanded, all of Tav et Moshe. And with him was Aholiab, son of Ahikamech, of the tribe of Dan, an engraver and a cunning workman, and an embroiderer in blue and in purple and scarlet and fine linen. All the gold that was occupied for the work in all the work of the holy place, even the gold of the offering, was 29 talents, and 730 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. And the silver of them that were numbered of the assembly was 100 talents, and 1,750 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. Rebekah, for every man, that is half a shekel, after the shekel of the sanctuary, for every one that went to be numbered from 20 years old and upward, for 600,000 and 3,550 men. And of the 100 talents of silver were cast all of Tavet the sockets of the sanctuary, and all of Tavet all the sockets of the veil, 100 sockets of the 100 talents, a talent for a socket. And all of Tavet 1,770 and 5 shekels. He made hooks for the pillars, and overlaid their hapiters, and filleted them. And the brass of the offering was 70 talents, and 2,400 shekels. And therewith he made all of Tavet the sockets to the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, and all of Tavet the brazen altar, and all of Tavet the brass grate for it, and the vessels of the altar, and all of Tavet the sockets of the court round about, and all of Tavet the sockets of the gate, the sockets of the court gate, and all of Tavet all the pins of the tabernacle, and all the pins of the courts round about. that's it for today's Sefer portion. Until next time, may you all have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all and welcome to today's Sefer portion. Today we're going to be reading Shemot or Exodus 39 and 40. Chapter 39. And of the blue and the purple and scarlets they made cloth of service, to do service in the holy place. They made olive tav, the holy garments, for Aaron, as Yahuwah commanded olive tav et Moshe. And he made olive tav, the ephod of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. And they did beat olive tav et the gold into thin plates, and cut it into wires, to work it into the blue, and in the purple, and in the scarlet, and in fine linen with cunning work. They made shoulder pieces for it, the couplets together, by the two edges was it coupled together. And the curious girdle of the ephod that was upon it was of the same, according to the work thereof, of blue, gold, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen, as Yahuwah commanded olive tav Moshe. And they wrought olive tavet onyx stones, enclosed and ouches of gold, graven as signets are graven, with the names of the children of Israel. And he put them on the shoulders of the ephod, that they should be stones for that they may be stones for a memorial unto the children of Israel, as Yahuwah commanded olive tavet Moshe. And he made olive tavet the breastplate of cunning work, like the work of an ephod, of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. It was foursquare. That they made olive tavet the breastplate double. A span was the length thereof, and a span the breadth thereof, being double. And they set it in 4 rows of stones. They set in it 4 rows of stones. First row was a sardius, a topaz, a carbuncle. This was the first row. In the second row, an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. In the third row, the gur, agate, and amethyst. In the fourth row, beryl, onyx, and jasper. They were enclosed on the ouches of gold in their enclosure. And the stones were according to the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engravings on a signet, every one with his name according to the 12 tribes. And they made upon the breastplate chains at the end, of wreathen work of pure gold. And they made 2 ouches of gold, and 2 gold rings, and put olive tavet the 2 rings in the ends of the breastplate. And they put the 2 wreathen chains of gold, and the 2 rings on the end of the breastplate. And olive tavet the 2 ends of the 2 wreathen chains they fastened in the 2 ouches, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod before it. And made 2 rings of gold, and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate, and upon the border of it, which was on the side of the ephod inward. And it made 2 other golden rings, and they put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, toward the forepart of it, over against the other coupling thereof. And above the curious girdle of the bind olive tavet the breastplate by his rings, unto the rings of the ephod, with a lace of blue, that it might be above the curious girdle of the ephod, that the breastplate may not be loosened from the ephod, as Yahuwah commanded olive tavet Moshe. And he made olive tavet the robe of the ephod of woven work, olive blue. And there was a hole in the midst of the robe, as the hole of a herbargion, with a band around it, around about the hole, that it should not rend. And he made upon the hems of the robe pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. And he made bells of pure gold, and put olive tavet the bells between the pomegranates upon the hem of the robe, round about between the pomegranates, and a bell and a pomegranate, a bell and a pomegranate, round about the hem of the robe, to minister in, as Yahuwah commanded olive tavet Moshe. And they made olive tavet coats of fine twined linen, of woven work for Aaron and his sons, and olive tavet a turban of fine linen, and olive tavet goodly bonnets of fine linen, and olive tavet linen breeches of fine twined linen, and olive tavet a girdle of fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet of needlework, as Yahuwah commanded olive tavet Moshe. And he made olive tavet the plate of the holy crown of pure gold, and wrote upon it writings like the engravings of the signet, holiness to Yahuwah. And they tied unto it a lace of blue, to fasten it on high upon the turban, as Yahuwah commanded all of Tavet Moshe. Thus was all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of the assembly finished, and the children of Israel did according to all that Yahuwah had commanded. All of Tavet Moshe, and so they did. And they brought all of Tavet the tabernacle unto El Moshe, all of Tavet the tent, and all of Tavet, all of his furniture, his tabernacle, his tashes, his boards, his bars, his pillars, his sockets, and all of Tavet the covering of ram skins dyed red, and all of Tavet the covering of badger skins, and all of Tavet the veil of the covering, and all of Tavet the ark of the testimony, and all of Tavet the staves thereof, and all of Tavet the mercy seat, and all of Tavet the table, and all of Tavet all the vessels thereof, and all of Tavet the showbread, and all of Tavet the pure menorah, with all of Tavet the lamps thereof, even with the lamps to set in order, and all of Tavet all the vessels thereof, and all of Tavet the oil for the light, and all of Tavet the golden altar, and all of Tavet the anointing oil, and all of Tavet the sweet incense, and all of Tavet the hangings for the tabernacle door, and all of Tavet the brazen altar, and all of Tavet his grate of brass, and all of Tavet his staves, and all of Tavet his vessels, and all of Tavet the laver, and all of Tavet his foot, all of Tavet the hangings of the court, and all of Tavet his pillars, and all of Tavet his sockets, and all of Tavet the hangings of the court gate, all of Tavet his cords, and his pins, and all of Tavet all the vessels of the serving of the tabernacle for the tent of the assembly, all of Tavet the clothes of service to do in the holy place, and all of Tavet the holy garments for Aaron and the priests, all of Tavet his son's garments to minister in the priest's office according to all that Yahuwah commanded, all of Tavet Moshe. So the children of Israel made all of Tavet all the work, and Moshe did look upon all of Tavet all the work, and behold, they had done it as Yahuwah had commanded. Even so they done it, and Moshe blessed them. Chapter 40. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, On the first day of the month you shall set up all of Tavet the tabernacle, the tent of the assembly, and you shall put therein all of Tavet the ark of the testimony, and cover the ark with all of Tavet the veil. And you shall bring in all of Tavet the table, and set all of Tavet in order the things that are to be set in order upon it. And you shall bring in all of Tavet the menorah, and light all of Tavet the lamps thereof. And you shall set all of Tavet the altar of the gold for the incense before the ark of the testimony. Put all of Tavet the hangings of the door through the tabernacle. And you shall set all of Tavet the altar of the burnt offering before the door of the tabernacle of the tent of the assembly. And you shall set all of Tavet the laver between the tent of the assembly and the altar. And you shall put water therein. And you shall set up all of Tavet the court round about, and hang up all of Tavet the hangings at the court gate. And you shall take all of Tavet the anointing oil, and anoint all of Tavet the tabernacle, and all of Tavet all that is therein, and shall hallow it, and all of Tavet all the vessels thereof, and it shall be holy. And you shall anoint all of Tavet the altar of the burnt offering, and all of Tavet all of his vessels, and sanctify the altar. And all of Tavet it shall be an altar most holy. And you shall anoint all of Tavet the laver, and all of Tavet his foot, and sanctify it. And you shall bring all of Tavet Aaron and all of Tavet his sons unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, and wash them down with water. And you shall put upon all of Tavet Aaron and all of Tavet the holy garments, and anoint him, and sanctify him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And you shall bring all of Tavet his sons, and clothe them with coats, and you shall anoint them as you anointed all of Tavet their father, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office, for their anointing shall surely be an everlasting priesthood throughout their generation. Thus did Moshe, according to all that Yahuwah commanded him, so did he. And it came to pass in the first month of the second year, on the first day of the month, that the tabernacle was reared up. And Moshe reared up all of Tavet the tabernacle, and fastened all of Tavet his sockets, and set up all of Tavet the boards thereof, and put in all of Tavet the bars thereof, and reared up all of Tavet his pillars. And he spread abroad all of Tavet the tenter. And he spread abroad all of Tavet the tent over the tabernacle, and put all of Tavet the covering of the tent above it, as Yahuwah commanded all of Tavet Moshe. And he took and put all of Tavet the testimony into the ark, and set all of Tavet the staves on the ark, and put all of Tavet the mercy seat above upon the ark, and brought all of Tavet the ark into the tabernacle, and set up all of Tavet the veil of the covering, and covered the ark of the testimony, as Yahuwah commanded all of Tavet Moshe. And he put all the table in the tent of the assembly upon the side of the tabernacle northward, without the veil. And he set the bread in order upon it before Yahuwah, as Yahuwah had commanded Moshe. And he put the menorah in the tent of the assembly over against the table on the side of the tabernacle southward. And he lighted the lamps before Yahuwah, as Yahuwah had commanded Moshe. And he put the golden altar in the tent of the assembly before the veil. And he burnt sweet incense thereon, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. And he set up the hangings at the door of the tabernacle, and he put the altar of burnt offering by the door of the tabernacle of the tent of the assembly, and offered upon it the burnt offering and the meat offering, as Yahuwah had commanded Moshe. And he set the laver between the tent of the assembly and the altar, and put water there to wash withal. And Moshe and Aaron and his sons washed their hands and their feet thereat. When they went into the tent of the assembly, and when they came near unto the altar, they washed, as Yahuwah had commanded Moshe. And he reared up the court round about the tabernacle in the altar, and set up the hanging of the court gate. So Moshe finished the work. Then a cloud covered the tent of the assembly, and the glory of Yahuwah filled the tabernacle. And Moshe was not able to enter into the tent of the assembly, because the cloud abode thereon, and the glory of Yahuwah filled the tabernacle. And when the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the children of Israel went onwards in all their journeys. But if the cloud were not taken up, then they journeyed not till the day that it was taken up. For the cloud of Yahuwah was upon the tabernacle by day, and the fire was on it by night, in the sight of all the house of Israel, throughout all their generations. Well, that's today's read. Tomorrow we're going to be doing the second half of Shemot, or Exodus. And then the day after that, we're going to start Vayikra, or Leviticus. It's the third Sefer of Moshe. Well, until next time, I hope you all have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow.